Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well and that you are all having a great day to start things off. The IOTA Foundation has recently announced the launch of the IOTA Academy. The goal is to support and teach users about the Tango technology and how it works. The information was released by an IOTA blog post a couple of days ago. The IOTA Foundation announced on the 25th of April that it launched the first international IOTA Academy program with the IoT One Academy located in Berlin and in Shanghai. The IOTA Foundation will be offering online training and blended training for coders and developers. This would allow enthusiasts, students, corporate project managers, and interested individuals to learn about IOTA, its technology, and the potential of its network. At the moment, it is possible to purchase the courses online entering training at iota.org. As per the blog post, this will be offering hands-on experience and practical approach with different code examples. Holger Köter, Director of Partner Management at the IOTA Foundation, commented saying, "We are excited to offer structural online and on-site training framework with curated content and individual participant support carried out by one of the most experienced partners in the corporate training field. We believe investment into IOTA education as well as acquiring deep knowledge in short time will be of both great benefit for both corporations, engineers, and developers to actively shape the upcoming Internet of Things, machine-to-machine ecosystems." Kind of cool. IOTA's having a very good week. I hope that it continues for them. They just partnered with Jaguar, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, definitely Jaguar. Very nice for them. It's kind of cool to have an IOTA Academy type thing launching. I don't know how many people this will actually appeal to. Yeah, I mean, I have a lot more to say, but it's not that I'm not going to say it. It's just more like, I don't know if it's very relevant. Anyway, the point is, whatever, fine, I'll say it. I'm interested to see if as time goes along, because a lot of major blockchain platforms, especially IOTA being one of them, that claims to be infinitely scalable, so saith the IOTA team, if we're going to start seeing a migration of people further from Ethereum onto their actual platform, because it seems to me that they're trying to get developers to be able to build things on top of their platform, and because they say that they are infinitely scalable, it seems that one would have chosen IOTA long ago. We'll see exactly how this ends up developing, how well their academy does. But yeah, well, actually, this is the actual post of them talking about their IOTA thing. For those, I'm not partnered with them at all, but for those who are or were thinking about building something, IOTA might be for you. It's at training.iota.org. It says it right here. And yeah, let's move on. Next up, the so awaited Lightning Network has been expanding in the cryptocurrency space in the last few years. Developers are working in order to allow Bitcoin to scale and to be able to process thousands of transactions per second. It's supposed to be millions. This is what they've said. Bitcoin has been affected by scaling issues back in 2017 and even now, and developers are trying to solve this problem by implementing the Lightning Network. According to 1ML, a site that tracks the most relevant information about the Lightning Network, the second layer scaling solution has a capacity of 1,000 BTC, 38,000 channels, and 8,000 nodes. This shows that there has been an impressive growth in the size and quality of the network over the past few years. And then they go on to talk about how great Lightning is and where you can use it and where you can buy it and so how this is being adopted. You know what's really weird? And this is, if you can find this information, please give it to me, because I have not seen any numbers and I'm very curious as to exactly how this works. In 2016, when we first started hearing about the Lightning Network and how great it was going to be and fantabulous, oh, it's awesome, amazing, so, the thing that was constantly said or spouted or touted or spoken about by people who were developing the Lightning Network is that eventually Bitcoin with the Lightning Network would be able to process millions of transactions per second. It was going to be the thing that people were going to use in order to be able to use Bitcoin on a daily basis. Get it, got it, good. I've never seen any numbers on this, and I mean as far as we every month we get updates because of how large the Lightning Network is actually growing. Like, you know, the capacity is 1,000 Bitcoin, 38,000 channels, 8,000 nodes. I want to know mathematically how many Bitcoin have to be in the network, how many channels have to be open, and how many nodes have to be active for us to hit the possibility of being able to do 100,000 transactions per second, if you get what I'm saying. Obviously, at 8,000 nodes, 38,000 channels, and 1,000 BTC on the Lightning Network, one has to assume that Bitcoin can now do more than 3 to 5 transactions per second. You know, normal Bitcoin can do 3 to 5 transactions per second. Lightning Network with this many Bitcoin inside of it, can it do 3,000 transactions per second? Has Bitcoin finally reached a 15,000 transactions per second limit? Do you kind of get what I'm saying? Like, how many Bitcoin have to be in the network of Lightning? How many channels have to be open? And how many nodes have to be active in order for us to hit that million transaction number? This is nothing, I've never been able to find this number. I searched one day, not even joking, I had nothing to do. I searched for about an hour because I like the idea of the Lightning Network. I love the idea of one day being able to, you can definitely just use Lightning. You can, they can do 1 million transactions per second, so and so forth. Like we kind of get when, Plasma is implemented on Ethereum. Got it. We know that at some point the XRP blockchain is also going to upgrade because I think they can do, 10 to 50,000 or something like that. We know that the Sun Network, like all these things are going to be implemented, and we know at that point when they have been implemented on the actual blockchains that they will have this speed. But no one has ever said how much of these three we need to happen in order to get that, magical number, because I think, this is just me, I'd even be more inclined to buy an actual node, like the physical nodes that they have, run Lightning nodes and have, open up multiple channels, if I knew that I was contributing to a number that we were racing towards, i.e., do we have to get to 15,000 Bitcoin and 300,000 channels and 45,000 nodes in order to get to the million, transaction number? If you can find this, please share it with the class. And I mean that. It doesn't even have to just be me. Like, post on Twitter, spread it to the world, let everyone know, because I've yet to see any of these numbers. Obviously, mathematically, it works out in some sort of way, but I've never seen it. Like, 1,000 Bitcoin isn't a lot, but how many do we need? Because I would be willing to contribute, a 15th of a Bitcoin to be able to kind of get the ball rolling. Yeah, let's move on. Here's a really weird one for everybody. Bitcoin and Ethereum move in lockstep, or they are in sync, and the XRP price is the least correlated to the other top cryptocurrencies. These are some of the findings from the latest report from Binance's research. The report is something of a first in the crypto world in its application of hierarchical clustering. Put simply, by looking at the weekly returns from the top 30 crypto assets in the last 12 months to the 31st of March, excluding stablecoins, the analysis groups assets according to their return correlation. A positive correlation is a relationship in which two or more crypto assets prices move in the same direction. Binance researchers use the weekly return data to construct a correlation matrix from which to work out the clustering. Here it is right here. It looks confusing. I know it's confusing. Only thing that kind of makes sense is the middle red line is Bitcoin and everything else is in correlation to Bitcoin. I guess XRP to Doge and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. The key findings of the report published a couple days ago show that the top two crypto assets by market cap, Bitcoin and Ether, had very high weekly return correlation, coming in at 0.87%. Among assets with the market cap of $3 billion or more, XRP is the least correlated to the other two, which makes it the best diversifier. This is according to Binance research. XRP's correlation with Bitcoin has fallen from 0.87 2 months ago to 0.53. Other clusters, my goodness, other clusters were in evidence. And the other clusters were Bitcoin Gold, Bitcoin Cash, Ethereum Classic, and Litecoin. They made up a forks cluster, which is actually kind of weird because that's really weird that they're actually all clustering together even though they are forks. Yes, they are forks. I can hear someone in the background saying that they're not forks. They are forks. We know that Litecoin is a source code fork from Bitcoin. These are forks. Google it. I almost said Twitter it. What's the other one? Wikipedia, do whatever you need to do to understand that Litecoin is an original fork of Bitcoin. It may not be a hard fork like we see now, but it's a fork. As far as the Binance effect identified in the previous Binance research report goes, Tezos and Dogecoin each form a single child cluster, which may be related to the fact that neither is listed on Binance. That's actually kind of weird. Although none of the clustering can definitively be interpreted, a Coinbase effect may be gleaned, where assets were reported to be listed or investigated by Coinbase seem to be in similar clusters. That's actually kind of weird. The other really weird thing is that there's like apparently a difference between like Asian and American crypto clusters. Dash and Monero make up their own little cluster. Digging a little deeper into the report, the geographical affinities are also really interesting. Qtum or Quantum, Cardano, Neo, and Omise Go are all Asia-based, and they actually make up their own little clusters. And by contrasting, XRP, BAT, and Dogecoin are actually the American coins, and these are also clustered together as well, which is actually kind of insanely weird that they have similar price movements and or correlations. So this is what Binance says. This is what they have come up with over the last 12 months. Really interesting to note how all the coins are working together. I'm sure we'll hear more as prices end up moving up, because I can only imagine what these coins will do, or rather if they will stay correlated as prices eventually end up losing their mind. I think this is the actual research that they have on their page for all the clusters and so on and so forth that they ended up finding over the last year. Next up, payment services firm Bitspark is releasing a cryptocurrency that is going to be pegged to the Philippine peso, the PHP. The development was announced in a press release shared with Cointelegraph a couple of days ago. Bitspark, a blockchain-based bankless money transfer solution, will launch a PHP-pegged cryptocurrency for money transfer dubbed the peg.php. I mean, it fits. The first company to use the peg.php will reportedly be an Australian-founded technology startup based in Cambodia called Okra Solar. Okra Solar, which provides off-grid solar solutions for remote regions, will deploy peg.php through Bitspark's payment network in the Philippines. The press release claims that this will be the first time when stablecoins will be used for bill payments. Customers will be able to pay their bills with a stablecoin in the form of cash deposits at one of the shops in Bitspark's network. Without reading too much further, they talk about so-and-so, blah, 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 blah. The only important, really crazy part here is the actual usage of cryptocurrencies to help really illiquid markets where there was really no money being able to pass back and forth through them. A lot of the Asian region, I mean, if you want to be honest, a lot of the South American region, the African region, and the Asian region have had problems over the last 50, 60 years where a lot of them really weren't included in the world economy simply because of it could be lack of interest, lack of growth, whatever the case might be. For the rest of the financial world. So while you are very readily able to be able to send money between America and Europe, or Europe between so and so and so, whatever the case might be, it's very difficult for a lot of these countries, the Philippines, Thailand, all of them have a very hard time. And this is why the idea of using cryptocurrencies to be able to send money to these countries back and forth is very amazing, because of the system that we have right now with SWIFT and Nostro Vostro accounts. And people, a lot of times when people are sending money back to their families, if you're in America and you're sending money back to the Philippines or sending it back to Thailand and stuff like that, you can incur very high fees if you're using MoneyGram and Western Union. We saw before in a chart in 2018, I don't have the chart here obviously, where they were, I think, charging anywhere up to like 25% of your money to be able to send it to another part of the world. That's completely ridiculous. So as cryptocurrencies continue to take over, I still wonder exactly what the business model of a lot of these places are going to continue to be. If I'm not mistaken, I believe this is the first Philippine pegged stablecoin. Kind of interesting. Hope it works out for them. I don't usually care for stablecoins, but in instances like this, I mean, until we get news that banks there are going to be using Cardano or XRP or Lumens or IBM, whatever the case might be, it's kind of nice to hear that they at least have found some type of a solution to help with the illiquidity problem that they're having in their country. Also in the news, apparently Bitcoin keeps breaking records every single day. It took less than a month for the Bitcoin blockchain to set another new high this year. Bitcoin apparently had, it was a couple of days ago, at the end of March, there we go, had gone over 400,000 transactions. People have been monitoring and actually looking at the number of transactions that we've been having on the Bitcoin network in respect to what we had in 2018 and also in 2017, and that we're seeing that Bitcoin is breaking a lot of transaction records, the amount of money passing through it are higher than they've ever been before, despite the prices of the cryptocurrency actually going down, which is very significant, especially, what was I going to say? Yeah, I think in 2018 alone, I think we had crossed the $1 trillion in value amount that had gone through Bitcoin, which is completely insane. This is going to continue to happen as more people join the network, but just the fact that we are or have transacted over $1 trillion and 400,000. Oh wait, that's actually daily confirmed transactions. That makes it even crazier. That's completely nuts. Kind of insane. I hope that this continues. I have a feeling it will. I don't expect Bitcoin to really slow down anytime soon, but still breaking records every single day. Just imagine in 10 years how many transactions per day Bitcoin is going to be doing. It's going to be completely nuts. To kind of finish things off, I thought this one was I thought this was quite interesting, because it mirrors exactly what I said in 2018, which I'm going to get to in just a minute. The president of Japanese financial giant SBI, his name is Yoshitaka Kitao, we spoke about him yesterday and a couple days ago before, has revealed that he intended to promote Bitcoin Cash. However, he did not proceed with the plan due to a contentious hard fork that split the Bitcoin Cash into Bitcoin ABC and Bitcoin SV. He was candid, admitting that he is not a fan of cryptocurrencies that regularly fork. For those who don't know, SBI is in Japan. Roger Ver, who is a heavy advocate for Bitcoin Cash, is also in Japan, unless I'm mistaken from what I've read in the news. There apparently is a thing within Japan that people, take it for what you will. People in Japan apparently like Bitcoin Cash more than they like Bitcoin. I have a feeling that this has to do with how Bitcoin Cash was promoted in the country, but that's neither here nor there. So I assume at some point there were discussions between the Bitcoin Cash people and the people from SBI, because we know that SBI is also a member of the Ripple board. So I assume at some point they were also like, hey, we can also be kind of cool as well. And this is why I think that they had listed Bitcoin Cash on their platform. However, Kitao said, and I do quote, "Coins that frequently fork are ridiculous. I was going to promote Bitcoin Cash, but Jihan and Craig ended up fighting, and ABC and SV were born. Jihan's side won and inherited the name Bitcoin Cash, but I decided to quit both. This caused the market for both coins to fall," end quote. Yoshitaka was straightforward, saying that he would have promoted Bitcoin, or rather the coin, before the November 2018 hard fork, but the rift between Jihan Wu, the former CEO of Bitmain, and Craig Wright, the self-proclaimed Satoshi Nakamoto, changed his mind, with the misunderstanding between the two leading to the creation of Bitcoin Cash, Satoshi's vision. Kitao said he decided to quit both coins, and he was right, because after the split, the space went on a death spiral, and Bitcoin Cash sinking 50% and at some point trading at parity with Bitcoin Cash, Satoshi's vision. For those of you who were here and remember that fateful day, it was probably one of the most annoying days that we've ever had in the entire world. I think I'll try and show you exactly what happened. Where is it? Let's find it. It's loading. Let's do quarter. Will that show me what I need to see? Let's see if it actually loads. Is it loading? There we go. Nope, not enough. Let's do this. Right here. This was around the time frame. Bitcoin was doing very tight trading for months. It was driving the market completely insane. And we had an enormous amount of analysts who kept on saying, Bitcoin is on its way up. Bitcoin is on its way up. There's no doubt in our minds, $6,000 was the bottom. Bitcoin is not going to go any lower. It's not going to happen. 6,000. We've been doing 6,000 for a long time. 6,000 is going to be it. If you look at this date right here, bam. This is when we got confirmation that there was a real rift inside of the Bitcoin Cash team, and that they were definitely going to hard fork, and that Bitcoin Cash, Satoshi's vision, was going to be born. Do you see what happened after? I remember being so upset at the madness that was insinuating in the cryptocurrency space because of internal fighting. And then we got two coins that shouldn't even exist. There's only one legacy chain, and this is exactly what had happened. For those of you who were here, I'm sure you remember this. Every analyst, there was not one analyst The entire rhetoric of Bitcoin falling to 800, the entire Bitcoin falling to 1200 was completely gone. Everyone was like, this is it. The bottom is clearly 6,000. We are going to go up. This is why I believe, I don't know, I have no documents, I can't tell you for certain. I'm pretty sure something was coordinated. I don't know what, and it still drives me absolutely insane to this day. There's no reason that, like I keep saying this, Bitcoin should not be under $10,000, and this was the moment when the market was going to go back up, and they decided to announce that there was a rift, they were going to be splitting, and this is exactly when the market fell. A lot of people are still confused and were confused as to why the market dropped. I told you before, when it comes to getting people into the cryptocurrency space or into any financial space, institution, whatever you're trying to get them into, you need very clear everything. Everything needs to be written in stone. They need to see exactly what's going on. When you get people into Bitcoin, when you get people into XRP, when you get people into any other coin, you let them know this is how many coins that there are. There can never be any more coins than this. When you have internal fighting and someone goes, I don't like what you're doing with Bitcoin, and they create Bitcoin Gold and Bitcoin Diamond and Bitcoin Cash, and then someone goes, and we have a bit of stability in the market, and someone goes, I don't like what you're doing with Bitcoin Cash, and they create ABC and then SV, this is why the price dropped down, because people who are trying to get into the cryptocurrency space is just a never-ending loop of negativity. I think, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart, the cryptocurrency space would be a lot nicer. I mean, we would still have some negativity, don't get me wrong, if all the Bitcoin forks were wiped away. You have to understand these forks were made out of greed, not necessity, and not because these people believed that they were doing the right thing. These people created billions of dollars out of thin air overnight. If you are a believer in Bitcoin and what Bitcoin is going to do, you create a side chain, you work on Lightning. A lot of the discussions have been whatever. I'm not going to get into it. That can be an entirely hour and a half long video. What's going to eventually happen, whether you see this or not, because I see this, the other forks are going to be wiped away. There's going to be a huge flood. They're going to disappear. And the only thing that's going to survive because it has the name is Bitcoin. I mean, it'll take us a while to get there. About good 2, 3, 4 years. But we're eventually going to get there. I remember being so angry when that happened. If you can, don't go back and find those videos. It's just me screaming, or rather clenching my teeth. I think what he did was correct. I'm glad that he has quit both coins. Neither one of them should exist. At least that's my own personal opinion. Pay attention to what's happening, and even more so, when places are talking about listing coins on their platform, always pay attention and never forget these words. When a platform says they are adding Bitcoin, they are not adding Bitcoin Cash, Satoshi's Vision. They are not adding Bitcoin Diamond. They are not adding Bitcoin Gold. And I think the only reason Bitcoin Cash is being added is because a lot of people who got into Bitcoin early hold an enormous amount of Bitcoin Cash, but it will not last. Just some final words before ending this video. I hope you all enjoyed. Hope you all are having a great day, a great morning, a great afternoon, a great evening, wherever you are, wherever in this crazy world you might be. I hope it's absolutely fan-freaking-tastic. Thank you all once again for watching and listening. I do appreciate all of your support. As always, an incredibly large thank you to my Patreon supporters. They are Professor Wally from Gunbot University, SC Verzely Fine Art, Brady Nields, L. Doug, Jared Schneider, Wise Night Owl, Shaolin Fried Rice, Gil Boa Snake, Crypto Joe, Carl Birchenoff, singer-songwriter Mike Savitz, Rai Rai, Yasha Harari, Amy Starsheen, Jeffrey Ramsey, Crypnotic, Crypto Artist Coldy 3D, Nicholas One Earth, One Piece, One Love, Setsuna, Nick Kanaya, Richie Rich the Third, RF Dusty, Cody, Vlad the Impaler, Paxis, Jeremy Fox, Jim Gardner, Minting Coins, Arthur Yaku, Nick Mangelavori, and Anthony Charles. Thank you all an insurmountable amount for your support. I appreciate every single one of you. And like always, I'll talk to you all soon. See you.